Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Footballbets4u podcast, episode number 26 of season 3. Lads, it's been an eventful week. Lawlor, it was a bit of a roller coaster for you. We'll get into that in a minute, lads. What we're going to be looking at this week is we are going to have a look at the that prank that we done last week, and we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about it and stuff like that because it was quite funny. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the fixtures for this weekend. We're going to be looking. I have a giveaway to do for the jersey from Mystique jersey, so we'll be doing that as well. We have the question section, new little segment on the show. We put it out to the people on Instagram. They can ask us a few questions. It doesn't have to be football related, so we may start getting some random questions over the next few weeks. So, and then we're going to be looking at the bets and the tips. Lads, we're going to jump into.
You did say tips there, did you?
I did say tips.
Oh, we're all going to look at our tips.
I was getting hopeful there.
Just making sure there's a P on the end of that one. Lads, we're going to look at this prank, right? For anybody that missed it last week, I'm sure you probably haven't if you're following the page. We're going to have a quick look at it because I think it's worth a look there. So
yes.
I'm just going to play this up. Someone who has done absolutely ridiculous things for this country. One of the best strikers, obviously, well, the best striker that we've probably ever produced. Probably that we're ever going to produce. Lads, Robbie Keane is on.
Yeah, how's it going, Robbie? Like, I've been a massive fan of yours. Growing up watching Irish football, you're a massive influence for me. Played with Crumlin myself. First ever all-weather I played on was because of you, and you were signing for Wolves at the time. But the question I wanted to ask you was, you got your dream move to Liverpool. You played 19 games for Liverpool. 19 games for Liverpool. You
Oh, that's deadly.
Liverpool's Day.
April Fool's is bastard.
Return of Chris.
Oh my God.
Oh, lads, this has been the longest day of my life trying to do this. Lads, I tell you what, it's honestly the funniest video I've ever seen, and it's like
reload the thing, do it again.
I can't have been watching it. We watch it further in on the show because I just think it's so funny, and like you completely fell for it. Like at any stage, did you like? It looked to me like you were kind of half twigging it when we were going through it a bit, and then because we had such a random question with Messi and I think with the Man City.
I lost it. I was texting me mate because I texted everybody. I was like, "Dad, I'm going on me text." I'm talking to Robbie Keane. Damn, my brother over there. I texted all the lads I work with. They were listening as well. I was texting me mate, and he was like, "Oh, that's not Robbie." And I was like, "No way." As soon as the camera didn't come on, I was like, "No way, it's him." And then he answered. I was like, "What's this?" Someone putting on the voice, and then he started answering the question for ages. And I was like, and that. Like, I was gone. I was like, this is a joke. I was raging. And then I got locked back into it again. And I was like, I can't not ask the question. So then when I started asking, and then I just lost.
I think you can see the moment where like you're like, this is, and then you're like, hey, hold on a second. And then you can literally see the moment where you go, fuck, this is real. And then you're like, right, and then all of a sudden you start panicking again. You're looking down at your
I was well nervous, thinking actually, am I going to ask this question in the build-up? So I had quite a bit to drink.
You didn't sound nervous, Graham. You didn't come across nervous at all.
Yeah.
It was funny, but like the whole thing. So like the way the day went for me after that was obviously after the show, obviously we knew it was funny, so I stayed up a little bit later and I done a little bit of clipping on it. Clipped it down to like a 10-minute video, and I also done it to a 1-minute TikTok, the one that we just watched there, like a short video that I could send across easily to people. So I sent it into FM 104, the radio station, into Jim and Nobby, the Strawberry Alarm Clock for the crack, like, and I got a load of laughing faces back, because they'd obviously watched it and they were like, oh, that is absolutely brilliant, like. So that was grand. I sent it on. I just sent them on the 10-minute clip. Then I said, like, he's like a laugh and he's love a prank. So I sent that across to them, and then I got another message back from them, like, can you take a call at 10 past 9? So I was supposed to be in a meeting at about 9:15. So I said, right, fuck this. I said, I'm going on the radio. This is going to be absolutely classic. So the lads are sound. I was talking to them beforehand. They were just saying how funny it was and stuff like that. And I think I put up the radio conversation up on the Instagram. So if anyone hasn't heard it, it's pretty funny. Like, but I remember that day you ringing me after work and
the day of the prank.
Yeah. Before we went on, like
I rang you. I think I texted Kieran. I was texting Connor.
Well, I knew you'd text Connor because Connor sent me the messages.
Did you know, Connor? Did you know?
I texted him the night before saying I wasn't going to be on Thursday night, but you better have an April Fool's prank for somebody. And he goes, yeah, I'm thinking about saying I'm bringing Robbie Keane on. And I was like, yeah, that's class. Let's run with it.
Whatever, Colin, I trusted you, man, to tell me. When I rang you, because it was my last day in work and I'm finished then for 2 weeks, and I was like, lad, if I'm not having a drink here by myself, like, and I'm stopping to come on to this tonight, this better be true, like.
I text Collie after that and I said, Collie, it might be a little bit too far now. We're going to ruin the fella's Easter's holidays. And he goes, it's all right. People will love it. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, like, I had to weigh up. Like, I got to the stage where I had to weigh up if it was going to be, like, if you were going to get offended and really pissed off about it, or it was going to be really, really funny. And, like, I went with the funny, like, either way. I think it would have had to be the point where, like, we probably would have fell out over it. That would have been the only point at which I would have went, fair enough, well, in fairness,
you did text him and give him the chance. You said, listen, if you want to give the pod a miss tonight and you stay with your mates, and you're like, no way, I'm not missing the chance to meet Robbie.
All the notes, Eddie, man, and still I'm here.
It was the fact that you twigged at like 11 o'clock that morning. You were like, oh, hang on, it's April Fool's. You were texting me and I was like, oh, you know, Collie though, he's always just messaging people and Robbie's not doing anything, so it was probably is coming on.
The Instagram message, man, was well planned out.
Oh yeah, I sent that.
I didn't. Yeah, so I didn't send. So like the whole thing was to prank like people that are watching now and people that might be listening to it. Like, and so that's why I put up the post on Wednesday night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning on the Wednesday when I put it up, and I was like, no one's gonna believe it. It's really kind of late, like, you know, and like, well, at what stage, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, am I going to get Robbie Keane and everybody's going to believe me? Like, but I put it up anyway for the crack, like hoping that someone would bite on it. And then all of a sudden you fucking bit, and then I was like, oh, hold on.
I was in the staff room and work, and I was like, the lads are definitely playing a joke on me here. And he was like, yes, they are definitely playing a joke on you. I was like, boy, it's believable. I'm believing it now. And like all of them are like, he's a fucking god shite. You know what I mean? Like, brilliant. It's so funny. But then when you stayed up, obviously, and did all the trimming down, and I finished the bottle, and and I woke up the next morning, obviously not being in work, and my phone had loads of messages. My cousin was after voice noting me saying, "You're after being on the radio. What's going on?" I was like,
because I knew because obviously you were after drinking a fair bit on the tours. I knew you weren't getting up early, like, so I knew that.
Like, 9:10.
You literally had said nothing, and I was like, this fella has no, because I was talking to the lads in work about it, and I was saying this lad has absolutely no idea what's going on. And then we wake up and we get a message going, lads, what the fuck's going on? So it was absolutely comical, like, but so we done that and then kind of went on to FM 104. Then we got a good few views. I think the total views on it is 2.3k now at the moment, like, which is pretty good, like, considering like all the stuff we put out doesn't really get anywhere near that.
Like, all the podcasts.
It's actually viral, maybe bacterial or something.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Not viral, bacterial at the moment.
Yeah, bacterial. yeah.
Athlete's foot is what they call it.
Little small growth. But then I was kind of contacted with, you know, Dublin Live done a little bit of a write-up on it, and it was basically just the whole thing that we done on the radio onto Dublin Live, but it was very funny. But lads, I just think we'll move on from it. Good 10 minutes spent on it there. We'll move into the football.
Can I just finish off on one thing?
Go on, yeah. Go on.
I'll just finish off on it. Was the fact that Collie was then asking me, because Robbie messaged on Instagram and Claudine had put it on Twitter and all.
Sorry, I didn't even cover all that. Like.
Collie was then trying to encourage me to write to Robbie as if he was my mate, you know what I mean? How's Claudine and the kids? Ask him to do stuff. I was like, I'm not that type of guy who's going to go testing. And he was like, oh yeah, just I'm glad young Robert loved it, Claudine. Oh, great.
Yeah. So Robbie Keane,
I had a text message from Graham saying, Robbie just replied to me, what do I say?
Yeah. So Robbie Keane shared it on his Instagram. Claudine shared it on Twitter, and she actually shared it a couple of times. But I just think it was brilliant. But Lawlor, as you were saying there, like I was trying to get you to fucking text Robbie, and obviously you're not the type of guy that'll fucking go and like text fucking Robbie Keane back. Yeah. So you're obviously saying to the wrong person. You're not the type of guy that does it, but I am.
Hi lads, it's Robbie here. Just want to say well done on getting Graham. I thought it was very, very funny. You absolutely done him a kipper. Graham, remember, revenge is sweet. Congratulations on the podcast, lads, and I look forward to coming on soon. And I'll definitely answer Graham's questions then. All the best. Take care.
There you go.
It was Chris in a mask all along.
I worked hard to try to get that one. I must have been absolutely wrecking his head because I kept tagging him in all the videos and stuff like that. And in fairness, I was talking to Robbie that day, and he came back and I just said, "Look, is there any chance that you want to appear on the podcast for 10-15 minutes?" Like, and obviously I didn't get a response from him because he's busy, like, you know, and. So I messaged him again then probably about a day or two later, and I just said, "Hi Robbie, just following up the kind of the videos after taking off a little bit there." I said, "No, I'm not like asking you to come on or anything like that." I said, "But if you could do up maybe a 10-second video or something just for Lawlor, I was like, I think I owe him an apology, like, so it'd be nice to kind of get that and give it to him." Like, so he just responded to me like straight away. He was like, "Yeah, absolutely no problem doing the video." He goes, "I'll definitely come on the podcast, but just can't do it right now." So. Like, in fairness to him, he was
fair play, Robbie Keane.
Absolutely gently.
Robbie Keane.
That was my favourite anyway.
Yeah, so I'll send that on. I have it on WhatsApp and all, but Lawlor, so I'll send that on to you there, and you can fucking back it up or whatever you need to do with that anyway. So yeah, so look, that's that, lads. We'll move on from that, right? We're gonna jump into the actual podcast here. So although this is a book, lads, we're gonna move on to the first game this
under
week.
an hour, Collie, is it?
Under an hour, so we're doing well. We're not going to spend ages on these games. Which draw? The Ultimate Team.
Yeah. No. You're the competition.
Oh, the competition I'm going to do after these, right? So yeah. So for anyone watching that has entered the competition, we're going to be doing it after we run through all these matches. So
yeah, lucky you have to stick around.
I'm still not allowed to enter.
Yeah. No, you're not allowed to enter. No, as I said before, Paddy, unless you want to make up a fake alias. But you're going to have to.
This is for the jersey, isn't it?
It's for Mystique jerseys. Have given us a jersey, a random jersey for any club in the world. Lawlor's kind of got one.
I can do the jersey soon as I'm still waiting on my T-shirt.
Oh, is that you calling out MCC Customs? Is it?
Yes, it is MCC Customs in Bangladesh. It must be sent them by pigeon.
Hand delivered, Paddy. Hand delivered. He's still swimming.
So I actually had mine underneath, lads, but it's very cold in my kitchen, so I'm gonna have to put the jumper on today.
I thought you got a job in NASA.
No, I did. Yeah.
You're out of the world.
I'm a spacer. Lads, we're going to move on to the first game, right? So Friday night we have Fulham versus Wolves. 7-5 for Fulham, 21-10 for the draw, and 21-10 for Wolves. Walter, how do you see this one going? Obviously, Fulham, as far as you're concerned, they're going down, and there's absolutely no return for them. You may be right, to be honest with you. How do you think they're faring out in the last couple of weeks?
Sorry, Collie, do you want to say that again there? I just did that kind of broke up there a little.
I think you said they were going down, and I think you might be spot on that.
Yeah. Jeez, there was a few naysayers in this podcast there a few weeks ago, wasn't there? Connor Little, I'm looking at you.
There still is.
Not clear cut, yeah, I tell you. No way.
There still is. If that's what you want from me.
I'm backing Wolves the whole way. I'm just sticking with me gut here. Fulham are going down. That's it. Job done. Newcastle are safe. Steve Heads is an absolute legend.
Love it. Connor, what do you reckon? Oh no, come on. Do you know what, Walter? We'll get a score prediction on you and we'll move on from this. So give us a score prediction.
Let's go 2-1 Wolves with Neto.
Okay. Connor?
Wolves still very disappointing. Fulham, I was convinced Fulham were going to beat Villa at the weekend, and then within 7 minutes, just the biggest capitulation I've ever seen, and well, seen this season in football. Anyway, they had all possession, all possession, all the chances, and then within 8 minutes, they were 3-1 down without a sniff, like no chance of coming back. I still fancy them because they have something to play for, and Wolves don't really. So I'm going to back Fulham because I need them to win pretty much in order to shut Water up. And I'm going to say 2-1 Fulham, And because of his form internationally and the goal last week, I'm going to say Mitrovic.
Nice one. Chris, what do you reckon?
I think it's going to be a bar fest, if I'm honest. I think they're just going to cancel each other out. Neither of them will want to go for it. They'll both play really conservatively. So I don't fancy it to be an exciting game, and I've left them out of my bet for the weekend because of that. But if I had to pick a scorer,
you do.
I'd say 1-0. Well, I'd say Wolves would edge it. They have the better squad anyway. So I'd say 1-0 and Willian Jose.
Oh,
he's shooting.
Nice. Lawlor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to call. But I'm going to get edge on the side with Connor there. I reckon Fulham just have more to play for. And I'm going to try grind out a result here. And I'm going to say 1-0 to Fulham with Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh, nice.
He was fucking brutal last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely rubbish, Paddy, what do you reckon?
Brutal every weekend.
Just on the relegation battle first, you've got Big Sam there getting a good result there the weekend. So I think they're only how many points off Newcastle as well?
Fulham was 4.
Fulham are 3 points behind, and West Brom are 8 points behind. So a little bit of catching up to do there with West Brom.
7 games. I don't know. Yeah, but Fulham, they've been playing better than Newcastle the last month, say, but they just haven't been getting the results. I still think they have a chance of surviving. Wolves are usually very hard to score against, but against West Ham last week, they were very open, which was very unusual. It was an open game, very good game. Yeah. I think Fulham will get the win here. It'll be a tight result. The only match I've watched them at this season was when United played with them, and it was a tight game. So I'm going to go 1-0 Fulham and Mitrovic to score.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, lads. I just think something has to change for Fulham. Like I said, what Water's saying, they're going down, and the season no return. I think that Scott Parker called them out after the game and pretty much wants to see a little bit of a reaction from them. So
yeah.
So I'm wondering, is this going to be the game? Now, I still don't think they're probably good enough to beat Wolves, so I'm going to say a draw on this one. And I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think Lookman is injured this week. Am I right in saying that? I think he might be on the
He came off last weekend, so
yeah, I think he might be injured. So I'm gonna go with Neto to score. I think Wolves will be winning, and then Fulham might just equalise. So, lads, we're gonna move on to the next game. Sorry, lads. Just one thing I wanted to do, because every week I fucking forget, and I've had this for a while. I didn't do it at the start of this either, but I have to do it. It was real.
Yeah.
It was new graphics, but look, lads, it's all a work in progress.
You go on the radio once, and all of a sudden you do all this.
Yeah. Right, lads, we're moving on to the next game. Man City. Man City and Leeds, lads. 12 on Saturday. 1-4 for City, 5-1 for the draw, and Leeds are 10-1. Lawlor, what way did you see this? And I'm seeing this being an absolute spankfest, or obviously Leeds conceding at will and fucking scoring at will.
Absolute goal fest them. Well, I'm hoping today. Not a result that I'm going to want. I don't think Leeds have any chance of getting one. But I'm going to go 4-2 to City.
Oh, interesting. And four scorer or goal? Any goal scorer, I suppose?
Any goal scorer. We'll go with Gundogan.
Ooh, Gundogan, Water's favourite
player.
Water, what do you reckon yourself?
Favourite pastime. I'm with Graham on this one. I don't see anything but a City win, and I think it's going to be probably more than 4 goals. I just thought I can easily see City winning kind of 5-2 with this one, so I actually am going to go 5-2 and 4 goals scored. It could literally be anyone, but I'm going to go for Diaz actually.
All right, interesting.
Mix it up.
Connor?
Yeah, it's hard to look past City, really. I think Leeds have shored up a little bit at the back recently. Last week, obviously, they were playing Sheffield United, so I don't think it really counts. But obviously, recently enough, they kept clean sheets against Chelsea as well, and looked solid at the back. Koch is back fit. He came on last week for the last 20 minutes, so hopefully he'll get a start now next week or this weekend. Still too much up front for City. I can see City resting players for next week as well. So I'm actually going to say a 3-1 City win, and I'm going to go with Aguero. I reckon Aguero is going to start and get a run.
Yeah, obviously coming back, and obviously his final farewell. Is this kind of the one where he wins the Champions League this year, maybe?
I said that initially, not initially, but when kind of we got through the knockout stages, I still think City have the hex or the voodoo with Champions League. I still think they will win it. I still think he'll leave City without winning it, even though he said he wasn't going to leave until he won it. But these are the games he's going to play in now when they have an important European fixture coming up. The league is pretty much not done and dusted, but they're obviously running away with it still at the top. These are the games that he'll play in, and he's obviously bound to score a goal eventually again, you know.
Yeah, cool. Just before we move on to the next person, lads, just a couple of comments in there. I just want to just quickly go through them. Who's better, Gary Medine or Thibaut Werner? I don't know who they are. So can anyone chime in on them? Does anybody know who
Gary
they are?
Medine played with Cardiff, didn't he?
Don't know.
Yeah, I'd say Thibaut.
Nice one.
He was a great wrestler.
Podolski or Ozil?
Podolski or Ozil.
Yeah, I presume it's supposed to be Ozil. Yeah, or Podolski. Yeah.
Ozil. The benefit of the doubt that he's dyslexic.
De Bruyne.
Best City player, De Bruyne. Yeah, I don't think we can argue, can we?
Whatever they are.
Top class.
Best CB, John Terry.
Where
ever or current?
Current. I'd say current.
Harry Maguire.
Ruben Diaz at the moment.
Diaz is quality. Thiago Silva, I'm going with. Sorry, lads, I've said it.
Get off your high horse.
Get the ball, will you?
Thiago Silva.
I couldn't stay on the pitch for 20 minutes last week.
Thiago Silva, he's only back from an injury.
No, I'd say Sayunchu.
What?
Oh, Leicester, is it?
Seriously?
God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Right, lads, moving on. Favourite ever player, John Terry.
Eric Cantona.
Jesus Christ.
Ryan
Giggs.
Giggs.
David Beckham. Connor. David Gerrard.
No, it's not.
Lawlor, who's yours?
Ronaldinho.
Like, who did I fanboy over when I was a kid? Like,
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane.
Actually, I used to love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously. And that's why I defend him.
You never played an Astro because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Huh?
You never played an Astro because of him.
Yeah, or Crumlin.
Watching that back. Gary Breen.
Don't change your mind. If you say which player is your favourite player.
Enjoyable.
Wrong.
It was fire. That's the same thing.
Thanks, Chris.
Paddy, do you use Paddy Power?
I am Paddy Power.
He is Paddy Power, yeah.
You won't let him on anymore.
Rafael Benitez.
Paddy, you're using.
I was using Paddy Power, but I'm using Sky Bet at the moment lately.
Yeah, Sky Bet's pretty good.
Sky Bet want to sponsor me. I'll have a t-shirt off them.
I'll just stitch two together though. And Andy McNulty's come in over 3.5 goals at 65. I presume that's the City and Leeds game. So that's actually not a bad price. That's actually a really good price, isn't it?
Yeah.
Falls in with all the
should have done me 10 to thousands using that.
Right, sorry lads, we're going to go back to the game there. So Chris, what do you reckon on this one? Goal fest again yourself, or do you reckon?
Yeah, similar to the lads. I think even if City do have like a slightly weak inside, it's hard to look past them being comfortable winners. I think stylistically, it's just a good matchup for them. So
stylistically,
that's a good sentence.
Oh, that was good.
He's back, baby.
I might clip that and put
you
my
have that written down in
just
front of you.
So yeah, I'd say I would have said 3-1 as well. Goal scorer, I'll go for De Bruyne if he plays.
Yeah, okay. Paddy?
Yeah, they'll put out a weakened team, obviously, in preparation for the Champions League game during the week, but Leeds haven't got a chance. Man City are just unbelievable. So I'm going to go 2-0 Man City and Phil Foden to score.
Nice one. Lads, it's so hard to pick a player from the Manchester City team on your fantasy football. No, just in general, a player. I had Cancelo and Stones and Sterling last week. I think Sterling played maybe 15-20 minutes or something, and Cancelo and Stones didn't even play. So it's so hard to pick it because that team is so good. But I think they'll probably bash them in this one. I'm going to go with 4-1 win for City. I'm going to say De Bruyne, but I'm not going to say De Bruyne to score first. I'm going to say De Bruyne to score twice. So he might score first.
A little bracer. Ooh.
I'm going to say a bracer. So brace yourself for De Bruyne there, lads. Lads, we'll move on to the next one. Saturday, 3:00, Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Connor, obviously being the Liverpool fan there, just a quick word on what happened to you there in the Champions League, if you don't mind.
Sorry.
It was embarrassing. Like it was.
Oh, I know.
Say that again.
Like,
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. It was direct football is what tore them apart. Like, and it's horrible to see. Like, they got torn apart by long ball football, and it was what killing them all season. It's why Villa beat Liverpool 7-2 in the reverse fixture. It's why they were beaten by Fulham. It's why they dropped points against Sheffield United. They play too high. They don't have the quality of the back to cover in. Trent was exposed again
Really badly.
Against a fellow who hasn't scored a goal in 33 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I put up in the group before he scored. I was like, Vinicius Jr. looks like prime Ronaldo.
You did say
and it's not because he became a better player overnight. It's because of who he's playing against. He had the run of it. It's disappointing that Liverpool pressed so high, but still didn't want to press Modric or Kroos on the ball. I was like, if you're going to press that high, press the players who can play those long passes. They didn't do that either. So they walked into exactly what Madrid wanted out of them. They played high and they didn't press the people who were dangerous on the ball. In the return fixture now, they're going to have to put more people into midfield, people who are willing to chase the ball down. Naby Keita wasn't willing to chase the ball down. Wijnaldum had an off day, wasn't willing to chase the ball down. It was left to Fabinho a lot. They just need to have workhorses in there just to stop the two lads, because they are still dangerous going forward against a weakened Madrid back four. Ramos won't be fit again. Varane will probably still miss it because of, I think it's COVID he had. So he probably still won't be available for next week. So they still have danger going forward.
But what about you have to question Klopp there about not starting Thiago? Like, does that not come into it, like, in starting K? And do you know what I mean?
I was more upset that he didn't start James Milner in midfield after Milner started against Arsenal on the weekend. If he doesn't have the legs, fair enough. But I think the game needed someone maybe who doesn't have the same quality as Thiago, but would have run around for 60 minutes and then given him the hook, taken him off, and brought on someone like Thiago. As I said, what we needed in the midfield was we didn't need to win the midfield battle. We just needed to make Kroos and Modric work. It didn't have to work. They sat in the pocket, picked the ball up, sprayed the ball 70 yards, sprayed the ball 60 yards, and hurt Liverpool where they're the weakest, which is the right full and the two centre halves. I can see focus still shifting to Madrid for next week. I don't know why. I can't see them overturning the 3-goal deficit, really, or 2 goals, whatever it might be, but they need to score 3. But I can still see this being like that second string team. I can see Oxlade-Chamberlain playing. I can see probably Milner playing because he won't play. I can probably see Origi playing, Shaqiri playing. I think Villa will get something out of the game, to be honest, especially the way they came back last week. So I'll dive in. I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and I'm going to go with El Ghazi to score for Villa.
Oh, interesting. Paddy, what do you reckon?
7-2, the reverse fixture earlier in the year. It's going to be nothing like that. I think Liverpool will have a point to prove, not only for the way they lost during the week, but the way they've been performing in Anfield this year or this season. But they had a good result against Arsenal, but that just shows again how bad Arsenal were, which they were absolutely tripe. I was watching the highlights and they did not press
dreadful
from the front through the whole game. I think they had 1 shot on goal in the first half, like 3 touches in the box, in the opposition box. They were shocking. But Liverpool done the job. Jota made a big difference coming in for them, and I think he will in this game as well.
He's going to be a serious kind of player to have back, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big game player. It looks like he's a big game player. He wouldn't have thought that at
Yeah.
Wolves or anything like that, we
No.
thought. But I think take him out like instead of Fabinho. He reminds like as clinical as say when Salah last year.
Yeah.
In the sense of as important, probably, his finishing,
Taking his chances.
Taking his chances.
He scores all type of goals. In fairness to him, he scores with his head. He scores in the box. He's confident 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper. Take the ball around the goalkeeper, and that's something Liverpool haven't had. Salah goes down the line, comes in on the left foot, edge of the box. That's his goal.
Yeah,
whereas
that's it.
Jota has that little bit of a range about him, like a number 9 should. He's not a
poacher.
He's a number 9. Poacher, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually go with, as much as it pains me, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, and I go for Jota, first goal scorer.
Nice one. Chris, what do you reckon?
Similar to Paddy, I think that they're not having a good time of it, which I'm very happy to see. But I think they've got enough about them to bounce back, especially going from Madrid to Villa. Like, no offense to Villa, they've been good this season, but the quality of the squad is nowhere near the quality of what they played against the other night. So I think that they'll be out for blood basically, and they'll try and attack from the first minute basically. I think maybe 2-0, and I'll go for Salah as first goal scorer.
All right, Lawlor.
Kind of repeating what bits of what each of the lads have said there. I know the other night the kind of direct football really did affect Liverpool, but I don't think that Villa will maybe adopt that type of style with Ollie Watkins up front. I still think they'll try to play football, which might suit Liverpool. I think it'll be a difficult game. I'm going to go with a draw. I'll go with a 1-1 draw. I wouldn't be surprised midweek if Liverpool come out with some Champions League magic that I'm just going to hate to see.
Yeah. If the fans are in the stadium, I'd be worried, but without the fans, I don't think so.
I know that. But I'm going to go 1-1 draw the weekend.
And any scorers first?
Scorers, I'm going to go Jota.
Yeah. War, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's an interesting game. I was kind of surprised about Connor saying that they might play a weekend team here, but like I don't think they can afford to. Can they though? Like with the way the league is going and the way top 4 is, I understand you're resting players from Madrid and you kind of need a cup run, but it's an important game in itself. Like, I know Tottenham are in there, Chelsea are in there. Like they're running out of games at this stage now. They've done great to get to where they are now. Like, they're within touching distance of top 4, and a few weeks ago we didn't think they would ever get there. I think they're going to do Villa here. I think it will be a 2-1 win. It will be a hard fought one, but I think they will get over the line. I think they've come through a hard spell, and the international break came just when they needed it. And I'm going to go for Trent to score the winner.
Oh,
in his own goal for Villa.
Against
No, sorry, I'm sorry, Collie. I'm just going off. Klopp in his post-match 2 days ago, commented about Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back, Shaqiri having a good run of form with Switzerland. So the only reason I went on that is because he's brought them up in his post-match interview. Makes me think that these players are going to get a run soon. He didn't bring up players who have played, so that's what made you think, okay, he's building these lads up because they're going to play at the weekend, so he can drop them again for next week.
What would you prefer though? What would you prefer to see against the team against Villa? Would you prefer a weaker or the strongest team possible?
Well, like, I don't know. I still don't know what team Klopp thinks is the strongest team he has, and I'm an advocate for playing the game that you're playing, or playing the team that you're playing against, especially when you're away from home. They should have set up to play against Real Madrid away. They didn't set up to play Real Madrid away. They set up again to play Arsenal during the week, which it's not the same quality of player. It's not the same quality of manager, I would say, or the same quality of a team tactic. They didn't set up to play Real Madrid away, and they got punished for it. I still would like to see the likes of James Milner play during the week against Real Madrid to shut down the 2 lads in midfield, because Real Madrid, if they're winning games, or they're obviously winning on aggregate, they're all they're going to do is pop balls into the corner all day long. They're just going to keep turning the back 4. So we need to try to get in there and stop those balls being played 60, 70 yards forward to actually win the ball back high up the pitch. So he needs to play the front 4. they did against Arsenal in the second half. He needs to play with legs in midfield and then just hope they don't get hit on the counter.
It's the Henderson effect, isn't it? You're really missing him now.
He's just very simple, isn't he? He keeps it
just for the engine, just for someone to take the midfield over. Fabinho can't do it on his own. As much as he does it in his own position, he can't cover across in a 4-3-3 formation.
Can Milner not do a similar job?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'd love to see Milner playing. He played against
all season. Why hasn't he done it all season?
I don't know if he has 44 games in him, to be honest.
All right.
Has
he tried it much though?
He has, but he's gone back to this thing with Naby Keita now again, which is another thing that I mentioned earlier on. Like, the player is not 100% fit. He hasn't featured enough games. I wouldn't have dropped him into to play in Madrid in his first game back in whatever that is, 4 weeks. And because he's in and out of the squad so much, I would have just set up with Keita has more ability than Milner, 100%, but I'll set up with legs in midfield. We'll lose the midfield battle quality-wise, but they won't get enough time on the ball to actually produce what they can produce. And it didn't work out that way, especially in the first half. So that's why I would like to see legs in there, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Milner, and then try get players as much forward as possible, or even play Milner and Fabinho together, and then try just get the 4 lads up top then, between Jota, Firmino, Salah and Mane.
What's your score prediction on that one?
2-1 Liverpool, and then Trent.
Right. Just a quick one on Liverpool, lads. I think we're brushing over a lot of fucking absolute bullshit going on with Liverpool this year. Like, Klopp for me has been one of the worst managers of the season, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, because I like the guy, but he's got the world champions there. He's got the English champions there, and he's so badly underperforming that it's absolutely ridiculous. We could say there's injuries and stuff like that. Again, we've had this debate before where, the injuries, blah, blah, blah. Comes down to him, his training regime with the muscle injuries or whatever. But, like, how I just find it so humbling for Liverpool fans to, like, just crawl back into their caves and just they're not bullshit anymore with them, like.
Yeah, I think it shows a lot about Klopp's persona. When we all liked him when he's winning, but when he's losing, he's one of the worst managers I've ever seen, for throwing tantrums, for just handling the media poorly, throwing excuses around. Exactly. You know,
Chris,
he's only short of Mourinho.
I just want to ask Chris about this, because we never really got Chris's opinion on, like, Klopp for this season. Like we've had this debate. We've had this debate before where the sleeves are coming up. So we've had this debate where, like, can Klopp get sacked this season? Is it a realistic thing? Like, can Klopp get sacked? As far as I'm concerned, every single Liverpool fan that I've spoken to, like, they could finish fucking in the relegation zone and they wouldn't get sacked. Like, do you think that's good enough for a manager at a club, what they've done last season and his fucking reputation?
Every manager is sackable, like, of course. There's I think that for what he's done for Liverpool, they probably won't do it this season, regardless of how badly they did, just because you can't. It's actually comical. Like, if you'd have sat down and said Liverpool were going to win the league last year, you wouldn't have believed it. Never mind that they were going to win the league and then come back to midway through this season relying on fucking James Milner to come on and save them. Like, give over. Fucking hell. Like, it was funny because, like, obviously all the Liverpool fans were blowing smoke up their own holes and thought it was the best thing ever because they were winning the league by a mile and they were wiping the floor with teams last season. And then the transfer window came around, there was no movement. They were like, why would you need to buy anyone? Should we have the best team in England? And now they're fucking struggling for players. They're all swinging out of walls and training. They don't have a fucking clue what's going on. There's injuries left, right and centre, and now they're struggling. Really
the only one that they're going back to is Van Dijk, and that's the only player they keep going back to.
But I was always under the idea that you can't win a squad, or you can't win a league back to back with the same squad. You have to invest in the squad. So for me, I said this last season in the podcast, and again when the season started, that they had to invest in the summer.
That's what a reasonable football fan would say, Connor, but most Liverpool fans aren't.
Centre half and a centre forward was always on the agenda for Liverpool before they got the injuries. So regardless of what injuries came around. No, I always said a centre half. I'd always said to bring in the likes of Koulibaly is what I had said during the summer. I'd always said to bring in the likes of your man who's now gone to Bayern Munich from Red Bull Leipzig. Can't think of your man's name now.
Upamecano.
I'd always said they needed to bring in a top quality centre half, and they paid him money for him because Joe Gomez was always an injury liability. He broke his leg. He had done his knee. He did his knee again this season. You can't rely on that and have no fall back onto.
In defence to Klopp, I don't think it was his decision that nobody came in. I think he would have liked.
That's bullshit. Like Klopp can't hide his emotions. If he wasn't happy with what was going on in the boardroom, especially after winning them that first league in so long, there's not a hope he'd have hung around or kept his mouth shut about it. I actually felt like coming up towards the end of the transfer window, I don't remember exactly what it was that he said, but I remember there being a couple of interviews or press conferences where he made a couple of comments that I felt like he was trying to put pressure on the board to make the changes or to make some signings without actually going out and slating them. So I think that you could tell, for me anyway, that the same way Paddy was saying, like when he's losing, his head is gone and he can't help himself. It's the same for me in the transfer window. He wasn't getting what he wanted, and he was starting to show it.
Fergie used to lay those little digs out as well, like, and not.
I know, but please don't ever compare.
Don't compare that. I'm actually offended as a Chelsea fan that you put the two of them in the same bracket there. Like,
Frank, you've been fucking blowing smoke up his hole all year. Like,
what a manager! What a fucking manager!
Actually, I think Holly's delaying the next conversation we're about to have is about Chelsea.
No, I don't think Chelsea playing this week, lads. Sorry.
Palace, Chelsea, London.
If we're all going to try and give slightly unbiased views of our clubs and try to be fucking realistic, you need to do it yourself, like.
Me?
Yes, you.
Tuchel out. Here you go. This is what you want. This is what you want. Tuchel out, Lamps back in.
Thiago Silva wouldn't get a kick.
Both of them out.
I won't have a debate.
Thiago Silva out. Jorginho out.
Jorginho.
Pulisic out. Ziyech out. Havertz out.
Right.
Werner out.
Sorry, I'm going to give me score prediction on this. Liverpool, I think they're going to get a win here, and I think they're going to bounce back. I think it's going to be 3-1, and I think Jota's going to score. Lads, we're moving on to the next one. Palace and Chelsea. Palace are 6-1. Great price, great team. Draws 3-1, and Chelsea are 1-2. This is on a 5:30 on Saturday, lads. Just looking at Chelsea there against fucking West Brom, it was poor.
Legend.
Like it wasn't even like that. We didn't play that badly at the for the first 30 minutes, and then Thiago Silva got a ridiculous second yellow card. It wasn't a yellow card, and got sent off. Now that's not an excuse because, as far as I'm concerned, we should have been able to cope with that. Tactically,
sounds like an excuse.
Tactically, Tuchel made a change, and he brought off. Who did he bring off at the time? He brought off Ziyech and brought back on. Rudiger, I think. Brokeback Mountain.
Christensen.
Christensen, yeah. So there should have been no excuses there for them not to beat West Brom. As far as I was concerned, Jorginho cost us that game. The first goal he gave away the ball. I think the second one then he put Thiago Silva under pressure, and then I think the third one he put Thiago Silva under pressure again and caused him to get sent off. So as far as I'm concerned, Jorginho cost us that game.
Sent off after 20 minutes.
No, I don't think so. I think we should have had enough. We should have had enough to. We were 1-0 up.
Yeah, definitely.
So we should have had enough to beat an 18th fucking or 19th West Brom team. So
when did he get his first yellow card?
First yellow card was a yellow card. He was the lad was, I think it was Robinson was through on goal or something, and he pulled him back. It was a
yellow card.
Yeah, it was within 7 minutes.
No, it was 100%. You take it. He was true on goal. Like he was going to go in and score. Like so, you take it. It was definitely
after that.
What?
Then you don't put anything in it. You don't go into a situation that you might get a yellow card with. Then after that,
it's not even a debate. That wasn't even a foul. Never mind a yellow card. Did you see the tackle?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
It wasn't a debate because he got sent off for it.
And in your eyes, as someone who fucking loves a tackle, and you're going to say that's a foul and a yellow card?
No, but you don't go. You don't try and attempt to make.
He didn't put himself in that situation. The ref did. Look, I just think it was poor, and like I'm not making excuses here. I did say Chelsea are going to finish second. Probably not going to happen now. But like when I look at the likes of Werner there, and it's gotten to the stage where I don't feel sorry for him anymore. I'd rather just fucking sell him now at this stage.
What about Ziyech, who is better than Messi?
I never said that, but I did say that he does have a very similar passing vision than Messi does in terms of the way he looks for a pass.
What with his eyes?
No, he looks for the cross ball. If you watch Ziyech and watch Messi, the two of them always do it. If they're out on the right, they'll cut inside and then look for that ball straight.
Is that not the most common ball in fucking football?
Just the way he does it, just the way he delivers it. He is a very good delivery of the ball. I'm not happy with Ziyech this year.
Yeah, Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
I'm
not happy with Ziyech this year. I'm not happy with Havertz. He can fuck off as well. Pulisic hasn't been getting a fair run, and I think that comes down to Tuchel. I think he needs to be playing him a lot more. He is injury prone, but he should definitely be playing more.
Ziyech, Havertz, and Werner were the future.
So, yeah, well, like I didn't say that. So, what are you saying?
Charlie, can I ask you a question?
4 seasons.
Is that a failure of Frank because he was the one that made them signings?
Well, actually, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was the week after Lampard got sent off, I did say that they'd come out and said that Lampard didn't actually purchase them players. So
4 seasons syndrome as well. They'll come good. Those 2 players will come good.
Yeah, no, I do. Look, I do. I'm more optimistic for Werner than I am for Havertz. Havertz just seems to be a lazy cunt. Like Werner just ropes.
I agree with Paddy there. It's 4 seasons. There's a lot of players to blood in. That's why I fell for Frank. I think you know what, in the season, see how he was next year. I do think Tuchel is a top class manager, and he will come good next year. Yeah. And just give it.
No, I do think Werner definitely, but I just think the likes of Havertz there needs to fucking kick up the arse. Like his work rate. If you're not playing bad, at least work. Like that's what Werner's doing. He's working his bollocks off, like, which I admire. Like
there is some traits that carry across, no matter if it is the first season. If fans can see it working, fans usually will understand.
It's basic.
Yeah, but if you're not breaking sweat and you're playing on the wing, there's something going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Mendy during the week pulled off a couple of good saves, and Mason Mount's torn for that goal, man. I don't know how many watched that.
Yeah, lads, if we're going to talk about Chelsea's last game, why are we not talking about the Atletico Madrid game? Or sorry, the Porto game. Why are we talking about all this in the history? Fuck the history, like
because it was Porto. That's why. It wasn't even Porto in Porto. Porto
Champions League, lads. Connor, you won't know about that next year. No, look, lads. Yeah, Chile fucking
too soon. Big weekend for the
season. I was going to say, where are Chelsea in the league?
Can I just say, and I'm going to just make a bold statement here. Chelsea are going to win the Champions League. And this is how it's going to go.
And they're going to finish second. Well, last week.
And second.
This is how it's going to go. We're going to beat Porto 2-1 next week. Then we're going to play Liverpool. Liverpool are going to do something outstanding in the Champions League. And then we're going to beat them. No, I'm just joking. No, we're not playing. We're going to play
your PlayStation off.
No, yeah. No, we're going to beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid are beatable. And then we're going to meet City in the final. And then we're going to lose City. No, what do you think we're going to get to the final?
You said we're going to win it.
Wait, shall we do more than this? Are we?
Yeah, sorry. So,
Paddy, Chelsea.
Paddy, give us a score. Paddy here, just going to jump into a comment here before you do that, Paddy. He undone all his good work this season. Most opposition fans were jealous of how likeable Klopp was, but he's gone full Mourinho in post-game press conferences, never taking any blame and all excuses. Do you know what? I love that because that is hit the fucking nail on the head there. That's 100% what the fuck is going on there. And
I don't think it's because no one really saw Klopp lose that often. I think that was the reason. He probably was always like that. He didn't lose that often at Dortmund, and because he had an underdog squad, he had lost all the squads to the team that were beating him all the time. He had lost Lewandowski.
He start whinging when his players were being sold, like seriously whinging, and then there was no one to be replaced.
If your players got sold to your biggest rival, imagine if all the United players were sold to City, and all of a sudden
Goetze was sold. Goetze was sold to him. That was it.
Lewandowski was sold.
No, when they start going downhill, it was just Goetze. That was it.
Lads, we're gonna get score prediction on this one. Water, give us the score prediction on this match.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea, and I'm going to go with Reece James to score.
Okay, Connor.
I am going to go 2-0 Chelsea, and I'm going to say Mason Mount.
Okay, Chris?
I am going to go 2-0 Chelsea, and I will say Mount as well.
Paddy?
Just quickly on our conversation last week about Ireland. Again, a job Big Sam could do for Ireland.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking at long ball job, the way he had Callum Robinson playing there,
100%,
I just think he'd definitely do a better job than Kenny.
That's some segue that was, isn't it?
I'm gonna go for 2-2. Stop being bitter because of your Dortmund comment.
Result in Chelsea game,
2-2.
Ireland.
Big
2-2 score.
Big Sam. We were just talking about Big Sam winning the game last week.
James McCarthy's the only Irish player out of these two teams as well, is he?
I think so.
Oh.
Anthony Rudiger.
Anthony Rudiger.
Yeah. Andy, who's your goal scorer?
Zaha.
Okay. Lawlor?
I lost my big London derby. You know what I mean? Difficult game. All the fans. I might head over myself. But no, I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. But I think Tammy Abraham's going to run the line this weekend. So I'm going to go Tammy Abraham.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a tighter game than that. I'm going to say 1-0 to Chelsea. I think it might be a tight game. I think definitely going to be a draw at half time and then maybe Chelsea to win. So that might be one to do. So draw half time, Chelsea to win. Don't know what odds he's getting it. Maybe 2-1, 3-1. I'm going to say 1-0 and I'm going to go with a Kovacic goal. He never scores, but I'm going to say Kovacic to score.
Werner, we didn't go with him.
Yeah, no, for a good reason. He hasn't
get better odds on Kovacic to score than Werner.
Yeah,
you get better odds on Mendy to score than Werner.
Lads, we're going on to the next one. Burnley and Newcastle, 5-4 for Burnley, 21-10 for the draw, and 12-5 for Newcastle. Lads, we'll just get quick score prediction on these games. We still have a bit to cover, and we're nearly an hour in. So, Water, give us a score prediction on this. Just a little quick. If you need something, just you can get it in there real quick for your score.
I still think Newcastle are going to stay up. It's just going to happen. I can't see it being. Yeah, Steve Heads. Gotta love him. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think that's all it's going to be. Newcastle are going to scrape by and stay in the Premier League by draws alone in the next few games.
Nice. Connor?
Fuck Newcastle, 1-0 Burnley, Chris Wood.
Chris?
I'm going 0-0 Borfest.
Goal scorer?
Paddy?
1-0 Burnley, Chris Woods.
And Lala?
I'm going to go 3 here. I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley as well. Jeff Hendrick to disappointing return.
Did anyone see the streaker at the United game? Like Salah, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like Mohamed Salah.
Salah streaking in the game.
He didn't do that much. I don't know.
Getting a bit of extra cardio in.
Lads, I'm going to say a 1-0 draw.
Did Lawlor say 1-0 Burnley and Jeff Hendrick?
No, Jeff Hendrick, a poor return. I'm going to go McNeil. Jeff Hendrick.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and I'm going to go with Maximum. He's not injured, is he? So Maximum.
He still is.
Okay,
He's back in. He's back fit.
I think he's back. Yeah. I'm going to go. I'll go with him. Lads, we move on. West Ham and Leicester. This will actually be a savage game, I reckon. 15-8 for West Ham, 23-10 for the draw, and Leicester 29-20. Chris, what do you make in this one? Got the fucking J Link thing down there.
Yeah, I think it'll be probably the best game of the weekend, to be honest. You can see goals happening for both teams. I'm actually, for a change, looking forward to watching Jesse Lingard playing, which is nice as a United fan. I was actually devastated that he left, but I felt like he did have to because it just wasn't working for him. Yeah. So I'm delighted that he's doing well. So for me, I think I could see it being 2-2, and I'm going to go for Jay Lings to score.
Ooh, interesting. Connor,
Chris, sorry, Chris, if you're going to say Jay Lings, you have to do the symbol. Okay,
we don't have to do all
Yeah,
No,
Is that
no,
not
just
fucking-
Damn shit.
Is that not the fucking Swanton bomb? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's the same thing it's playing out.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy from the top of the right.
That's what he's doing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Oh,
All right.
I wonder if that any reference to it.
Well,
Connor, what do you
anyway.
reckon?
J-Links, bruv.
I was thinking as well about the
Looking
same
and thinking,
script.
Jesus.
Jesus, calm down.
They're not played.
Flood the
I
room.
think Leicester just have enough to
Oh, fuck's sake.
Nice
Go on, Connor.
I think Leicester have enough to beat West Ham in the end. Instead of being loads of goals, I'm going to go 3-2 West or 3-2 Leicester. You said 3-2 West Ham.
Leicester.
3-2 Leicester. And I'm going to go with Jamie Vardy.
Water. Connor's Ronaldo, he's a big group.
He's out with drink. He needs to go get one now. I can actually see Leicester winning comfortably here. I think West Ham have been doing great, but I think Leicester are on a slightly different level. I'm going to go Leicester 3-1 with Barnes. No, Barnes is out injured with his knee, isn't he? So Tielemans, who is having a fine bit of form lately.
Lawlor looks shocked, so
Just to say that like they're on a completely different level is just beyond me. And then
so
whip
what
out
do you
Barnes
reckon?
first. No, I think it'd be a really good game. I think West Ham are going to nick it. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. I think they've been very, very strong. Disappointed to see them concede 2 against Wolves. I thought they'd hold out and be stronger at the back, but I think they're going to win this one against Leicester and go 2-1.
Interesting. And can you give us a scorer, please?
As much as I love the guy, I'm going to go with Jesse Lingard.
Paddy, what do you reckon?
Sign.
Have to eat me words about L fucking J-Lings or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
Whatever
know.
it is.
Yeah, I said he'd come in, have a couple of good games, and then his form would fall off a cliff. But he's doing absolutely brilliantly. He was amazing in the last game. And I think West Ham will do a job here as well. They've been on a good run of form. I'm going to go for a West Ham win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win, and I'm going to go for Jay Lings to score first.
Do we have time to digress here on this?
Go on.
No, I was just wondering what the lads think. The change in form for Lingard, what was it been? I know he had his difficulties up in Manchester, family wise and stuff.
Run of
But he
games,
seems
I'd
to
say.
Huh?
I'd say
the
run of
team.
games. Yeah, I think so.
Can I just ask you, as Liverpool,
Point to prove.
as United fans, obviously Martial's out for the rest of the season now. Would you like to have him back? Like, would you be? I know, obviously, when he was there, he wasn't in the form he's in now.
He's not a
But
striker. Like he's not a striker. He's
Martial
not
would be out right, really, wouldn't he? Obviously, been playing more.
No,
centre.
Martial was striker. Yeah, Martial was through the centre this season. He was number 9. Yeah. If it was not him, it was Cavani. So
No. He would have
I
just
think-
been an option, wouldn't he?
The only way Lingard would have a future at United is if he could accept being like a Daniel James type player. He'll never play week in, week out. But if he can be a squad player, he'll come back. But
At the same time, I don't think he can perform the way he is now if he's not getting that game time. So I don't think he ever will come back to United. I think this is best case scenario now for United. He's out in the shop window. He's gone on loan. He's getting the minutes in. He's doing well. He's building up the price tag every game, more or less.
Yeah.
This suits him. Like, you can see it really does suit him. Like, being at that level. Like, I don't think he is like good enough to be, and I never did think he was good enough to be at that in Manchester United level. Like, and
don't get me wrong.
Antonio as well, I think really suits him.
I think the players are. Connor, you're right. I think the players around him really suit him. Like,
He has two quick players in the wing. He has Antonio who holds the ball up really well, and he knows he can play off of Antonio showing the feet in behind. Really
But he doesn't get his goal the weekend if it wasn't for Antonio's run. It's a great run by Antonio.
It was a great run, wasn't it? It was very smart.
He plays that that Shearer role in like a Shearer and Sutton, or he plays that like that smaller role in that big man front too. and you think you have to play that way if you want to get the most out of him, which teams aren't going to say. He's not good enough to say, United are going to set up a team around, this is how Jesse Lingard plays well.
Exactly.
But it fit in with what Moyes had at West Ham, so.
Yeah. I'm just going to we're going to move on, lads. I'm going to give me score prediction. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw here. I think it'll be a tight game. I think Fornals is probably going to score for West Ham. So yeah, it's going to be a tight game. I think it'll be a good game though. It might be end to end. I just think we might lack a lot of goals, but I think we'll probably get 2. Lads, I'm going to move on to the next one there. 4:30 on Sunday. Spurs and United, lads. 19-10 for Spurs, 12-5 for the draw, and 11-8 for United. Paddy, what do you reckon on this one? Do you reckon Mourinho's going to get a good result? We know he's an expert at getting results against big teams, but do you reckon he's able to do it now, or has he lost the dressing room with Spurs?
Spurs have the worst record of conceding goals towards the end of the game. United have the best record of scoring goals towards the end of the game. So I can see Spurs going ahead in this game, Harry Kane, and then United coming back to the second half. The last week, I'll be honest with you, an awful lot of results, even the Chelsea results, I was kind of saying to myself, there's a hangover after the international break. There really is, and you could see in the United game as well. It's going to take a couple of more training sessions for them to really start gelling together. But again, then United are not blowing anybody away this season. But again, they're so hard to beat, so hard to beat. And Spurs lashed us over earlier in this season after just saying we're so hard to beat. But that was the one big defeat we had this year, or this season. So I think they'll be out for revenge. So I'm going to go for a United win, 2-1, but Harry Kane to score first. And I think we should have a conversation about where do we think Harry Kane, should he stay at Spurs or leave?
Yeah, it is good. It is a good question. Chris, I'll go to you next, lads. We are an hour into it. I'm trying to move us along a little bit, but obviously this game is one we'll spend time on, so we will just fly through the rest of them. So if he's anything to say on this one, just get it in there, no worries.
Well, yeah, I'd be pretty similar to Paddy. I think that it will edge it. I do think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be pretty close. I think there'll be a lot of just cancelling each other out for like the first hour to 70 minutes, and then I think at the end, it might be able to just kind of pip it. I actually think it'll just be like a 1-0 United and like a scrappy Dan James goal or something like that. I could see that happening.
Cool. Connor?
Yeah, Mourinho doing what Mourinho does best, playing out for nicking a win or taking a draw if he has to. Can't see it being too exciting, but the way Spurs have been conceding some of their goals via mistakes, whether it's centre halves, goalkeeper, they've been conceding some absolute clangers recently. So we can see it being enough for United to nick 1 or 2 goals and then see the rest of the game out. So I'm going to say 2-0 United, and I'm going to go with Fernandes.
Okay, War?
I think it'll be very close. There'll only be a goal in it. I'd say Spurs haven't been playing great. United aren't, as Paddy said, they're not blowing teams away, which is a big concern all the time because I think they are liable for a mistake here or there. It's really written for Mourinho to just nick a win, if you're thinking about it from the storybooks end of it. Although I think Mourinho is more afraid of losing this game because he's be in really big trouble now if he loses this game compared to
he's lost the dressing room.
Yeah, I just think the results haven't been going his way, and I think he's going to really just focus on not losing this game. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, actually. And I think Harry Kane will score, and I think Spurs will definitely score first, and United will probably score in the last 10 minutes to rescue it.
Okay. Mourinho's already started. Did you see Mourinho's interview last week? Somebody asked him, what's the difference between when you're successful and what's happening now at Tottenham? And he said something like, same manager, different players. So already now he's turning on the players.
Yeah, he tends to do that. Like, Lawlor, what do you reckon on this one?
Yeah, I think it is going to be a very tight game. I agree with what Kieran said. I think Mourinho's really just not going to want to lose this match. But I think the writing's on the wall. We said it a couple of weeks ago. Daniel Levy's not a man to sit on his hands. And I think the kind of decision is just inevitable now. He's turning on the players. You see the kind of nasty side of him that we don't like to see. I know we all kind of, as much as we've seen Mourinho in Manchester, seen him in Chelsea, we kind of wanted him to kind of turn things around and things to go well for him in Spurs. But I think, the writing's on the wall now. I see United getting a win. I think it'll be close. I think we'll go behind and we'll win 2-1 in the end. So I'm going to go 2-1 United, and I'm going to go from Mason Greenwood because I think he's looking to find a little bit of form now at the minute. So I've been just slowly watching a little bit of this Barfest tonight now, but I think
tonight.
Lads, so I think Spurs actually might nick a win on this. I don't know why. I think maybe third legs for United. I don't know, and obviously with the injury or two, just think it might just catch up on them. Obviously, where are they playing that in Spain?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of jet lag as well with it. Not too much, like, but enough to kind of affect them. I think Spurs might nick a 2-1 win. To be honest with you, I think it'll probably be 1-1 for the majority of the game, and then Spurs may get a late goal and then just park the bus. And I don't know. I just think I don't know why it's one of them games that I just feel like United are on such kind of a high or whatever at the minute. I just think this is just prime Mourinho kind of tactical genius. I don't know.
Mourinho's not Mourinho anymore, though.
I know. It is a difficult one with him. Like this year, like it's probably not going to last. Like
I think this will be the first club he leaves without winning a trophy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, he's in the Carling Cup final. Don't forget that.
Against
City, I think.
City.
Oh yeah, he's still got to be there. Yeah,
he has a final. He'll take his trophy and walk out the door with his trophy. Lads, we're going to move on. Lawlor, I think you have to bail now at this stage, do you?
Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah, cool.
Right,
hold on one second before you go.
Hi lads, it's Robbie here. Just want to say well done on getting Graham. I thought it was very, very funny. You absolutely done him a kipper. Graham, remember, revenge is sweet. Congratulations on the podcast, lads, and I look forward to coming on soon, and I'll definitely answer Graham's questions then. All the best, take care.
Kino.
There you go. I'll send that on to you and make sure you get your questions ready, because I guarantee you when I'm bringing Robbie Keane on, I will not be telling you, so you better be prepared for it.
No worries. Hello.
Right, go on.
See you later. Take care. Bye.
Right, lads, we're going to move on to the next game, which is, boom, Sheffield United and Arsenal. So 7 o'clock, 21-4 for Sheffield United, 3-1 for the draw, and 8-15 for Arsenal. Lads, we'll just get a quick score prediction on these. We're not going to spend too much long. There's only 3 games left. So we'll get quick score prediction on these. So what do you reckon on this one?
Well, Arsenal are atrocious. How I watched them against Liverpool. I don't know whether Arteta has lost the dressing room or not. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And probably Tierney to get a goal for Arsenal.
Oh, interesting. Connor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Arsenal third last week. Sheffield United even third recently. It's not going to be a pretty game for me either side, but I'll still go with Arsenal to win 1-0 and Buchanan Saka to score.
Nice one. Paddy?
Big Dirty 0-0.
Oh, nice. Connor. Or sorry, Chris.
I already said my one.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough one to call. I think that Arsenal are absolutely atrocious, but I do think that they'll have enough to get a result against Sheffield United. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if they don't. I'm gonna say 2-0 to Arsenal, and I'll go with Aubameyang.
Okay, I'm kind of on the same lines that I think Arsenal are probably going to be a bit too good for this. I'm going to say I think there got to be probably a few goals. I'm going to say 3-1 to Arsenal, and I'm going to go with Aubameyang to score. Lads, we're going to move on to the next one, which is West Brom and Southampton. 6 o'clock, 23-10 for West Brom, 23-10 for the draw, and 6-5 for Southampton. Lads, what way do we reckon this one's going to go? Again, like, we're not going to, obviously West Brom coming off the massive win against Chelsea. They're a massive price when you look at that. Southampton sitting in 13th position with 36 points, and obviously West Brom in 19 to 21. So a bit of a gap there for me. I like to, at this stage of the season, I like to look at who it means more to. Obviously West Brom have a glimmer of hope. If they can pick up a couple of wins, then you never know. So to me, 23-10 for West Brom coming off a massive win against Chelsea is a massive price. Paddy, what do you reckon on this? And do you reckon I'm onto something there, or do you reckon it could be just a?
Yeah, no, I do think again West Brom will be up for it, but then Southampton showed against Burnley there last weekend that they they're still up for a game as well. They got the late goal; it was 3-2. I think this will be a draw, but there'll be a few goals in it. I'm going to go 2-2, and I'm going to go Callum Robinson to score first.
Oh yeah, listen, Chris.
What a goal by them against Chelsea.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I don't know. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Southampton will have enough to take over or to take the lead anyway, and probably hold on. I can see like an early goal and then just a terrible game after that.
Yeah.
So in terms of goal scorers, I'll probably go Shea Adams.
Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, you can see Big Sam doing what he's done kind of so far and trying to grind out a draw if he can, and ideally, obviously, a win. I think after what Paddy said at the back of Southampton last week and a good performance, I want to bounce on from it so I can see them nullifying each other a little bit. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw, and I'm going to go with he's back fit this week, Conor Gallagher.
Okay, and War?
I'm going to go for Big Sam win, and I'm going to go Pereira. Is that how you pronounce the guy who got 2 goals?
Yeah,
I'm going to go for him to score the winner 1-0.
Nice one. Lads, I'm going to go with a West Brom win here. I think they might just continue that little bit of run, or a little bit of form, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to say a 2-1 win for West Brom, and I'm going to say Robinson to get on the score sheet again. Lads, last game, 8:15 on Monday. Brighton versus Everton. So Brighton are 5-4. The draw is 9-4, and Everton are 9-4. Lads, that is a massive price for Everton. I don't know. So maybe one of you can double check that and make sure I've got that price right. But that is a huge price for Everton as far as I'm concerned. I know Brighton are in kind of the relegation battle, and in terms of what it means to teams, this is what I was saying about when you look at like who does it benefit more to get the win and stuff like that. It's obviously Brighton in this game. Now they have a bit of a gap, a 6-point gap, so the pressure's not massively on, but I just think 9-4 is a huge price on it.
They're 23-10 with Sky Bet at the moment.
So 9-4 is pretty much the closest equivalent. Connor, what do you reckon on this one? Price wise, like look at Everton here, or would you be still kind of fancying Brighton to take it?
I don't know. Everton have struggled recently. I know James came back last weekend after injury, scored. But they didn't look great against Palace. They struggled big time, especially at the back. They gave up a hell of a lot of chances. Olsen and goal played very well, which I'll twist back on. But you gave me shit over
because you said he's a good keeper, and then he went out and he made absolute fucking howlers.
Keeper, and he played well the weekend. And his gaff got broken into after that game. You said it, so I blame you on it. All the people in the podcast, they were like, "Yeah, let's fucking wreck his gaff." He played well the weekend. They gave up a lot of chances against a poor Palace side. Let's be honest. And as you said, I think Brighton might see this as a game that will. It could take them out, not take them out of shit completely, but they know they're going to pick up a couple of points over the next couple of weeks anyway. So I think a 9-point gap between themselves and the drop might be not enough for them to be comfortable, but enough knowing that if they kept their own run of form, beating the teams around them anyway, that will get them out of shit.
Yeah,
I'm going to say again that they're going to pretty much nullify each other in the end, and I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. And I'm going to go with Gylfi Sigurdsson based on the look that he gave for Carlson taking the free kick at the weekend. And he scored over the bar. I don't think Sigurdsson's going to give him a set piece ever again. So I think any free kicks, penalties, corners, throw-ins, anything with a chance of going in the net, Sigurdsson's going to take. So I'm going to back him to score.
Okay.
So Sigurdsson to score from a throw-in.
Goalkeeper just to tap it into the net and or the last one.
Take a bad touch or something to go under his foot and hit the studs and go in. Chris, what do you reckon on this one?
I actually, Yeah, the same. I think that Everton have struggled a little bit lately in terms of like that sharpness that they had for the first few games of the season, or for the first third anyway. Seems to have gone a little bit, but I just think that they'll have a little bit too much class for Brighton in the end. So we can see Brighton going ahead, but Everton coming back to win in the end. So I'll go for 2-1 Everton. First goal scorer, I'll go for Mopay.
All right. What do you reckon?
Kind of reiterating what the lads are saying there. Like, Everton haven't been hitting top gear at all, really. They've really dropped off, whether it's because of injuries or the lack of squad depth, that they're just getting tired. I think Brighton haven't been doing too bad of late. Like, I know they're in the dogfight at the moment, but they're at the upper end of it. But like, they only lost 2-1 to United, then they beat Newcastle 3-0, beat Southampton 2-1. And they only lost to Leicester 2-1. Like, they're not getting blown out of the water. It's going to be close. And I do think Brighton will probably edge it. So I'm actually going to go 2-1 win Brighton with Dunk to get the header.
Okay. Paddy, what do you reckon?
Brighton played well against United last week, and they were playing well before the international break as well. Everton, again, would have wanted to win last weekend for the top 4 spot, but they failed to do so again. The nearly theirs again for Everton. I think Brighton will get the win, and a 1-0 win with Danny Welbeck to score the goal.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Yeah, like I just, again, of everything I would say is kind of pretty much repeating what you have already said there. I just think it's gonna be a tight enough game, I'd say. I think Everton might nick it. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Everton. And I'm going to say Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score. Lads, that completes the fixtures for this week. So what I'm going to move on to next is the giveaway.
Penalty for United. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. So, lads,
Chris, you're putting in the chat.
A red card.
In case you didn't hear Paddy.
He said it before he said it.
Lads, we're going to do the giveaway here for the mystery jersey. So this is from Mystique Jerseys. They've given us one jersey to give away to one of the followers. So I'm just going to share my screen here if I can. Boom. So we're going to take us over there, lads, so we can see everybody. So it's pretty simple. 145 people are in it. A couple of them are repeats.
Sorry, Collie, just for yourself, a full screen up the top there.
It kind of takes me out, I think, because I can't scroll down. I just want to show everybody the people that are in it, so all the names. So you can see all the names they are in. If you're wondering if your name is there or not, you can put this in slow motion and have a look at it again. So that wheel there, lads, has been spinning around since the start. So it's not like I've just turned that on. So I had to go through every single name that I entered and enter them in manually myself. So I'm struggling to get the thing here. So we're going to do this now. I'm going to literally just click this once. It's going to land on a name, and then obviously the name will pop up itself, so it won't be hard to see who's after winning. So best of luck to everyone that's in it. And
come on, Peace Allens.
Spin!
Come on,
Peace Allens.
Come on, Peace Allens.
Okay, here we go.
If Mark Lawlor wins, I'm going to fucking strangle someone.
Tommy KRMR.
Tommy Kermer.
Probably like that little music as well.
Kermer the frog.
So that's it, lads. Kermer has won the jersey giveaway. So it's going to be a case that he's going to get in contact with me and give us his details, and then I'll pass it on to Mystique Jerseys, and they'll send it out. So congratulations. No, I'll clip it, and I'm going to tag it onto the page. So I'll make him aware.
Punish him for not watching. He has to be watching the game.
20 minutes of our bullshit.
Yeah. No. Yeah, lads. Look, that's that done. So thank God that's out of the way. Lads, next thing we're moving on to.
What I say was thank you, Mystique Jerseys.
Yeah, no, thanks for them. No, just because that was trying to keep track of that was an absolute nightmare. The amount of fucking entries, I didn't think we were going to get that much entries, but goes to show it is a really good idea. Lawlor got one of the jerseys from them, and he got an Antalya Sport jersey, and it's actually savage the way they deliver it and stuff like that. So, Paddy, we're moving on to your little baby here. So hold on a second. Let me give you a bit. Let me give you a bit of this.
Wow. I'm actually
I'm really expecting that.
I thought I was watching the Teletubbies or something there for a second.
Oh my
God.
That is literally off a little crappy app off my phone. So that is the best this podcast is going to get. So if anybody's watching this or listening to this, it doesn't get any better. So
I love it.
It's good. It's so bad.
I love it. The worse, the better.
So that's good. Yeah. So Paddy, so we're going to do this.
Yes, I have the Wheel of Fortune. It has all our names here on it. I'm going to spin it just like our competition. We're going to get 2 names, and we have our ultimate teams all done up. We're going to put those 2 teams on Instagram this week on the Instagram page, and the fans or the listeners will vote for who they think the best team is, and then we'll debate it next week. The two owners of the teams, and then again we'll do another draw. We'll have a league, and I don't know. I haven't worked out how many games it's going to take altogether. Maybe 5 or 6 rounds to get through it all. And we'll have to think of some sort of a prize for the end of it.
So are we doing 1 match, or are we doing 3 matches here? Because we've 7 teams, so we can do 3 matches.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds good. Yeah. That's why you're the boss. That's why you're the boss.
One person will have a boy each week. Yeah. One person will have a boy each week. So, Paddy, do you want to do the draw out there?
Yes, I have. I'll share my
screen.
Do
you want to share the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we have those other tabs closed, Paddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready to go for game 1?
Yeah.
What do you get? Is there away goals in this, or what's the story?
No.
We all just play each other once.
Oh, Chris. It's going up against. You're a winner, Chris. Well done.
Where's your home, Chris?
Old Trafford, of course.
Yeah. Chris and Paddy.
Come on.
Interesting. I'm just looking at the teams here.
Okay. Collie, you have all the teams there. You're going to.
I have the teams ready to go. Yeah, I can actually share them here, lads, and we can just have a quick run through them. I'll just call them out. We won't debate too much about them, but we can.
Yeah. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do the rest of the draw first?
No, go on to do the draws out. So who was that? That was Paddy. Chris versus Paddy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make note of that. Oh, Collie. So that's me against. Ooh.
Come on, then.
And I just like to. Alan. I'd just like to do a call out for the wheelofnames.com, who have sponsored the show this week. You can see their amazing graphic here. It's unbelievable. Okay.
Go in the center, Paddy.
Okay, fix the tree.
It's all white. Okay, who's next? We could do some music, couldn't we?
We do some
Lawlor.
music, yeah. At least I had some sort of graphics with mine, Paddy. Come on, up your game.
Yeah, sorry.
Connor or Water, which one of you are getting the boy this week? Or going to Dubai? Water. Connor can't play.
Connor's fucking delighted.
Connor ain't got no fans.
Right, lads, I'll show
it again.
I'll show it. I have the teams here, so
Okay, stop sharing there.
Okay, so who's this? This is Paddy. So now we'll go with the teams that we have. So Chris's teams first.
Yeah.
So Chris, do you want to talk us through your team here and what you've got? Can you see that?
Yeah. So obviously a very heavy United influence for me, but I've tried my best to be fair and to give some other teams and other players a shout. So if I was 50-50 on a couple of spots, I tried to include other players. But Schmeichel in goal, obviously he's a fucking legend. I'm not going to go through actually the validation for each player. You can question me on that.
No. I want your fucking validation for your centre back picks, please.
Okay.
That's all. That's the only position.
I'll go through the team and then I'll come back to them.
Yeah.
So on the right, Gary Neville. In the centre, Ferdinand and Vidic. On the left, Ashley Cole. Then playing in front of the two lads in the middle will be Gerrard and Scholes. On the right, Ronaldo. On the left, Giggs. And up top, Henry and Drogba, who I think is a dream combination.
That is a good combination, yeah.
That is an unreal combination.
And then for the two lads at the back, like again,
No, your subs. Don't forget about your subs.
Sorry,
Very
subs.
important.
So, goalkeeper Czech, defender Company, midfielder De Bruyne, and forward Rooney.
Okay, go on. Justify your disgraceful pick there.
I think. Well, first of all, I think calling it a disgraceful pick is absolutely atrocious. Like, so
Absolutely not. Rio Ferdinand should not even be on the bench. That's a fucking fact.
All right. Well, like for me, I tried to pick the team as well around people who would play well together, not just individual slots.
Okay.
So
That's fair. Yeah.
I think that Vidic and Ferdinand were probably the best centre-half partnership ever in the Premier League. So that's where they get the show. And like you can't. It's like saying fucking ham and cheese. Like they just go well together. Do you know what I mean? So it was like an instant shout. Like I've grown up watching Ferdinand and Vidic. They were kind of like prime.
You didn't grow up, Chris. Let's be honest. You're about 35. You didn't grow up watching them.
All right, Connor, calm down.
Play this week, Connor. Chill out.
Connor, Jesus, Connor just wants to get one back now. Like.
Go in to get back at me. That was a terrible chance.
That was awful. Pick your
You're not even
moment.
playing this week. Relax.
Falling down there. Fucking hell.
I think, like in the peak of my football interest growing up, that was the era of Ferdinand and Vidic. So that's
What about
me,
Terry and Carvalho?
I wasn't a Chelsea fan, Collie. And John, don't get me started on John Terry, right? Just because you want to suck his balls doesn't mean everyone does. Like
But-
he's a racist and a
Lost the
scumbag.
Champions League.
No, it's not racist. Sorry,
Just
not
gonna say
just
it.
put that
Lost
out.
No,
the
he's a racist.
He's
He's
not
a
racist.
racist.
Adulterer.
He is right.
Adulterer and a racist, and he lost his team the Champions League.
Lads, he could be coming onto the podcast. He's not racist. He's
He's
was
never going to
racist.
come on the podcast.
It was proven innocent in a court of law that he was not a racist, didn't say the words, and that was it. So, cannot
Alright.
say
Well,
that.
then he's an adulterer. He's an adulterer, and he lost
I
the
won't
Champions
accept
League
that.
final. So.
When he slept with Wayne Bridges' wife, Wayne Bridges was actually not with his wife with her at the time.
Did John
so-
Terry have a wife at the time?
He probably asked him to stop if he was.
Did John Terry have a wife at the time?
No.
Oh, all right.
So so I'm not accepting that. Lads, all right,
Really
Chris,
now?
you've gone
We
through
looked
your
that up
team.
now. Are you sure he wasn't married?
100% not sure, but I'm going with it.
He was. Like,
Right, so Chris, you're against Paddy, so let me just scroll through, right? We've got Paddy's team here. Paddy, talk to
I
the team.
just saw somebody has birds.
Team of absolute leaders. Strength mentally and physically. Schmeichel at the back. Vidic and Company in the centre. Neville on the right. It's hard to pick, but one of the most successful right backs in Premier League history. Irwin on the left, probably United's best left back. I was kind of didn't know whether to pick himself, Ashley Cole, or Everett. Okay.
Everett, no.
In the centre of the park, then Keane and Vieira, Ronaldo on the right, Henry on the left, which he played a lot of the time for Arsenal, so it wasn't just sticking him in there, and then Van Nistelrooy and Cantona up front. I think it's a team of leaders. And yeah, there's no way I can lose this week. Subs: Van der Sar, Terry. You'd be delighted about there.
Yeah, well, I'm not happy he's on the bench, but look.
Bergkamp and Drogba.
I want to just controversially ask you why you've got Bergkamp as a
It's not
midfielder.
a midfielder.
I'm all about having Bergkamp on the bench. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
Like,
on the
no.
bench as a forward.
As a striker.
Not a midfielder.
Well, can you have two forwards?
Yeah, I picked
No,
two forwards.
So it's a position or a sub for each
Oh,
position.
look at that.
It's not a sub-free position. It's Paddy's bleeding game. He can do
Yeah.
what he wants.
That's what we
It's
said,
ball.
wasn't it?
No, it's not what we said. We just said 4. So we said 4-4-2.
Oh,
The
well,
only
I
rules of
was
this was
forced
4-4-2.
into changing my subs into 4 different positions.
Who forced you?
Me.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Starts with C and ends in Ollie.
Right,
well, yeah,
right. So we're gonna move on to the next team, lads. So it's my
Oh,
team.
we can't just gloss over this.
Right, it's my team here, lads. So can we have a bit of hush here?
Oh, look,
Chris?
he's rattled. Do you see him giving out Chris in the background there? He's rattled he is already.
Christ.
I've gone with Peter Cech in goal. I've gone with Terry and Company, two of the best centre halves to ever play in the league consistently for so many years. Vidic, 1 or 2 season hit wonder. Rio Ferdinand, absolutely overrated.
He's not your
Can I
team, what are you
finish?
talking
Can I
about?
finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Ashley Cole, left back, because he's the best left back in the world at the time when he was playing in his prime. Ivanovic on the right, because Ivanovic gave Chelsea 10 years of solid seasons. Can I finish? He gave Chelsea 10 years of
Best team in the Premier League.
solid defending. I've gone with Lampard in the middle, because who better to get you goals from midfield than Lampard, because there's no other midfielder. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Let him talk, will you?
Lampard is the highest scoring midfielder in Premier League history. So, so that's why he's there. His goals. Patrick Vieira.
Like you're reading out like horse racing or something. Chill out.
But I feel like you're all going to just abuse me if I don't get anything in. So Patrick Vieira in beside him, because what a player, better than any other centre midfielder, I think. Eden Hazard on the left, because again, when Eden Hazard was in his prime, he was one of the top 3 or 4 in the world, and you can't deny that, although he's taking a massive decline now. Ronaldo obviously out on the right, and Henry and Shearer in front, highest scorer in the Premier League history. So why wouldn't you have them there? On my bench, I've got Van der Sar. Could have went with Schmeichel, to be honest with you. Vidic there, Keane and Aguero. Lads, I think I could have overlooked a couple of players as well. Like Ivanovic there, I've gone with obviously purely because he's Chelsea and he's just solid. He was solid with Chelsea. There's very few big mistakes he made. Gary Neville definitely could have been within a shout there. But there wasn't really. I don't know if you found this the hardest position and just went with Neville. Yeah. When you think past Gary Neville, there's not fucking many there. Like
Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, and then you're talking Micah Richards and stuff like that.
Steve Finnan.
I was actually giving James Milner a shout right full.
Yeah, you were saying. So yeah, lads, look, that's what I've gone with. So I'm against Mellon. So here's Mellon's team. Peter Cech in goal, Company and Vidic. Left he's got Cole, right he's got Irwin. Then he's got Gerrard and Keane in the middle. He's got Giggs on the left, Ronaldo on the right, and Henry and Shearer up front. A lot of the midfield is nearly similar. He's got Schmeichel on the bench, Ferdinand, David Silva, and Rooney. So
nice to see he stuck to the real.
We have to look at the bench as well. You know, some of those players can make an impact.
Yeah.
I don't think I even though I'm a United fan, I do not think Ferdinand deserves to be in with.
Thank you, Water.
Wash your mouth out right now.
Thanks, Water. Water is a man that knows football and talks sense. We're going to look at Lawlor here, lads.
Let's look at all these centre backs and look at the medals they have, and we'll see if Ferdinand deserves.
I mean, we can throw Terry in that mix as well.
I know that.
Yeah,
he's
we're going with Lawler's team here, lads. So we've got Schmeichel in goal. We've got John Terry and Vidic there. I think that's a solid partnership again. Would have had company. I did have
no pace, zero pace.
Cole on the left, Irwin on the right, Keane and Scholes in the centre, Giggs on the left, Ronaldo on the right, Henry and Cantona up front. He's got one with Van der Sar, Company, Vieira, and Shearer on the bench. Solid enough team. Like again, they're all pretty similar. Like, just one or two kind of different players that'll.
And can you have these votes open for the week on the Instagram?
It's only goes 24 hours, but. What do you want to talk us through your team there? Can you see that?
Yeah, so I'm going to be more controversial here because I went Virgil van Dijk in centre back. Because in fairness, now I don't think you're going to find a better centre back coming.
Yeah, John Terry.
He's done it for
one season. One season.
And Philip beat him 7-2. Way out of.
Yeah, no, give it time. He will. When everyone looks back, he will be regarded as one of the best. And you can't say he makes the game look so easy. Like he walks around and he just makes it look so easy.
And against Villa.
I think Cech coming in, Schmeichel was always susceptible. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
To being lobbed, and I was never a big fan of that. So I think Cech, when he came, he just redefined goalkeeping for the Premier League. Gary Neville can't really look past a more successful right full. Dennis Irwin could take a free kick, was just solid, good leader. Vieira and Keane, the centre mids, they're two very similar. It could have been mixed. I didn't put him in the bench, but I think Yaya Toure deserves a big shout to be in there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else had him. Ronaldo on the right is a guaranteed. Bale was another controversial that I had.
Bale.
Absolutely controversial.
I just in terms of them few years that he was at Tottenham, he just destroyed everyone, and he was untouchable. and then Henry and Aguero. And I think them two, I know people had like a big strong man. I think I had Shearer up there, but Drogba deserved a shout as well. I think Aguero and Henry would have just destroyed anyone that they played against. I just think they would have been so interchangeable and probably would have had a good relationship. So debatable, but I'm sticking with it.
All right. Connor, you've got your team here. Can you talk us through your team?
Yeah, I agree with Water on what he said with Petr Cech. I think he changed goalkeeper a little bit. He made things a lot more simplistic. Obviously, the numbers say for themselves as well about the amount of clean sheets that he's had in his time with Chelsea. Obviously, suffered a horrific injury. Wasn't the same afterwards, but we can let that slide a little bit because of fucking Stephen Hunt.
Yeah.
Ashley Cole, I think, in his prime, not necessarily with Chelsea, but I'd say with the time he had at Arsenal, the Invincibles, and then obviously in the Chelsea, one of the best left backs in the world, if not the best left back in the world at the time. Company and Vidic, on the back of what the lads have said as well. Company for his leadership at City. Obviously, they had a strong squad around him, but he still led them to victory. Vidic was always a player, the centre half that I admired and was always jealous about as a centre half. When Liverpool struggled with centre halves, I always looked at Vidic and said, "Fucking hell, what would you have given for Rafael Benitez to have signed him instead of signing fucking Martin Škrtel?" Gary Neville, I threw in there just as something solid to sitting behind Cristiano Ronaldo, who doesn't like to do that work maybe necessarily backwards, but offers you a lot going forwards. I have Ronaldo on the right-hand side. I have Vieira and Scholes in the middle. Touched on Scholes a couple of weeks ago, and I said Scholes brings the best out of good players around him, so why not have him sitting there just spraying passes and dictating tempo? Vieira in there do the leg work and the nitty-gritty, the hard work, the donkey work as well. Giggs on the left-hand side, looking back, I probably would have put Henry out there on the left. Didn't think Henry as an out-and-out left-sided midfielder did well when he did it at Arsenal. I thought on the left side of our front three, because ideally I wanted to play a 4-3-3 and put Henry on the left. Probably would have done better, but I probably would have taken Giggs out. That Giggs was like a player that I just had to put in on the left side of midfield. Didn't want to put Hazard in. Didn't do it for long enough. Same with Bale.
6 years.
Giggs in anyway. Front two speak for themselves. Henry, 175 goals. I just looked it up here because I was like, he's definitely one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League. He wasn't really, but the fact that he had 175 goals in 250 games is outstanding. Shearer top goal scorer in the league. Can't really look past him. What he did in not necessarily strong sides, but how he pulled sides to win games. On the bench, Van der Sar. As a goalkeeper, I always looked at Van der Sar, not necessarily just at United, but at Fulham as well, and what he did with that team that was so poor around him and kept him in the league so many times. John Terry, again, just on the partnership that he struck up with Carvalho. Don't think necessarily he was as strong individually as Company or Vidic, but he was a good leader with that back four he had around him, and including checking behind him. Keane, because I think you have to pick between Keane or Vieira. I don't think you can play both of them. So I went with Vieira over just because I think he had a little bit more going forward than Keane, and then Aguero because you can't really fit him in front of Henry or Shearer.
Say Vieira had more than Keane going forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think his final pass was stronger.
Controversial.
And I think his legs, he had better legs going forward and back to go box to box. Because you're not going to get that from Scholes playing beside him.
Don't know. I disagree with that. Yeah. Anyway, cool. So that's the teams. Anyway, that's everything done out. Like I said, it's gonna be a good crack having them up on the Instagram. We'll obviously do up our own league and stuff like that. So Connor, you've obviously got the bye week this week. So yeah, lads, that'll be interesting to see who comes out with the ultimate team there.
So I suppose we'll make it Connor's first out of hat next week, irrespective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Connor, the first spin will be basically Connor. If we come across the same fixture, we'll just redo it again. Lads, right, that's the ultimate team done. We're an hour and a half into it, lads, so I think we're gonna skip one or two things. And we'll just get straight onto the bets. I don't want to drag it out over 2 hours. So Connor, have you done up a few bets for me?
I've done two.
Okay, so hold on. So hold on 1 second, lads. So we're just going to go into our new little segment here, the betting section.
Oh yeah!
Did I just hear
Sky
Connor
Sports
saying,
each bleeding heart out.
What did you hear, Chris?
I was actually just going to say, Collie, when we were looking at those teams on the screen, next week you'll have it sorted so like we can do the little graphics and stuff like Neville and Carragher do on Monday Night Football, yeah? So we can drag the players around and stuff,
Drag them all around, yeah.
Yeah, great.
It'll be top quality as well, like the little graphics are there as well.
Great, because my team is a 4-4-2, but it's a fluid 4-4-2, so I do want to move a little bit.
You want to move the players, right? Fair enough.
Mine is more like a 4-2-4.
when they're attacking, they're more, but when they're defending, it's more like a 4-5-1.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Right, Connor, what have you got for me, bets wise here?
I've done a threefold for the League of Ireland. So she had a
threefold.
Yeah, like a banker.
Okay, yeah, okay. Treble,
it's 6-1. And there's some tasty prices in the League of Ireland for Friday and Saturday night, just based off current form so far. So I have Pats to beat Derry. They're 4-6 at home, off the back of two good results for Pats, especially beating Bows last week. I've got Dundalk at home to beat Bows at 17-20. Bows struggling this season. Dundalk poor against Rovers last week, but still have a good enough squad. And then I have Rovers to beat Sligo away at 3-4. Obviously, Rovers do want to do best last week, beating Dundalk. So yeah, pays back at 5.5-1.
It's not too bad. Paddy, have you got one for me there?
Yes, I do indeed. Will I share my screen?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Get very interactive here.
For anyone that's listening, you can see Paddy's screen on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's an audio podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose for the weekend games, I've done it.
You zoom into that, Paddy. If you just zoom your screen into it. Yeah, there we go.
Whoa. It's a bit blurry, sorry. Okay, so you've got Fulham against Wolves, gone for Fulham. Man City against Leeds. Liverpool against Villa, gone for Liverpool. Chelsea going for the win against Palace. A draw between Newcastle and Burnley. West Ham to win against Leicester. United to beat Tottenham, and Arsenal to beat Sheffield United. And my 10 to 1,000. Have you got a graphic for this, or will I go ahead with it?
No, go ahead with it. I'll have one next week
for this.
Jeez. Paddy, we'll be back to square one next week again.
Okay, so I'm going with Liverpool, Bournemouth, and Norwich to win. It was 3-1, but I got it at 5-1 a Sky Bet, and €55 returns on that.
All right, nice one.
Okay.
So that's all your bets then, is it?
Yeah, that's me done.
Right, Connor. Chris, did you have one for me? Did you say you had one done?
I did one, yeah, based on some of the predictions I did on the Saturday and Sunday games in the Premier League.
Cool, what have you got there? Shoot out first.
So if we go for City, Liverpool and Chelsea to win on the Saturday, and then the Sunday, I have a couple of draws. So Burnley and Newcastle to draw, West Ham and Leicester to draw, United to beat Tottenham, and Arsenal to beat Sheffield. And that's like 111-1. So it's actually pretty good odds.
Yeah, Water's gone.
All right, fair enough. No problem.
Water's going to get sick.
Connor, do you want to throw us out your next one there?
Yeah, I've just done 4 goal scorers that are across Saturday and Sunday. I've done Diogo Jota to score in the Liverpool-Villa game. I've done Mason Mount to score in the Palace-Chelsea game. I've done Chris Wood to score in the Burnley-Newcastle game. And I've done Kelchi Iheanacho to score in the West Ham-Leicester game. 4 goal scorers, anytime goal scorers will pay it back at 54-1.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. War, did you do that up on it?
I just have 2 on Sky Bet here for the Leicester and West Ham game.
Yeah, go for
it. So Leicester to win and both teams to score is 9-2 on Sky Bet. That boost at the moment. And then so it's just a 4-parter on the West Ham and Leicester game. So Jesse Lingard to have 1+ shots on target. Jamie Vardy to have 2+ shots on target. West Ham to take 6+ corners, no, and Leicester to take less than 5 corners is 11-1.
It's not bad actually. Yeah. Lads, I'm just going to share my screen. I'll try out a couple that I've got done here myself. So this is kind of, I do this every week. I do I do the pretty much results and predictions, whatever I think every single game in the Premier League. So I go through them and I just look at the prices and stuff like that and see what I think's best. So I put €2 on it. It's 3,000 to 1, so 6,000 back if I get it. So as we win this, we're going to Vegas. So I have Fulham and Wolves to draw. I've got City to beat Leeds. I've got Liverpool to beat Aston Villa. I've got Chelsea to beat Palace. I've got Burnley to beat Newcastle. I've got West Ham and Leicester to draw. I've got Spurs to beat United. I've got Arsenal to beat Sheffield United. I've got West Brom and Southampton to draw, and I've got Brighton and Everton to draw. So 3,000 to 1 for that one. So £6 back from €2 wouldn't be too bad. I'll just try out another one or two that I have done up. So this is kind of me bet of the week here. So I've got an A-fold. I've put £8 onto it, 53 to 1. So that will return €435. So I've got, again, City to beat Leeds. It's the early game, but you'd like to rely on City there, I think. Liverpool to beat Villa. Bournemouth to beat Coventry. Norwich to beat Derby. Hull to beat Plymouth. Portsmouth to beat Burton. Bradford to beat Grimsby. And Chelsea to beat Palace. So, again, €8 on that. £435 back. Lads, have you got anything else, or would I keep rocking with what I've got?
Walk away.
For me, no.
Walk away, yeah.
Cool. Right, cool. Next one I've got £2 on it, 800 to 1, 9-fold. Again, like I said, I like to see that where they're offering you more cash out and stuff like that than your original stake, although it's not a lot. But City against Leeds again, Norwich against Derby, Blackpool to beat Lincoln. I've gone purely on form there in that one. Hull to beat Plymouth, Portsmouth to beat Burton, Cambridge to beat Exeter again. Cambridge in I think they're first in the league at the moment. Leyton Orient to beat Cheltenham. Again, a massive price for Leyton Orient, but they're in good form. That's why I've gone with them. Port Vale to beat Morecambe, Torquay to beat Weymouth. So that is what I've gone. Paddy, I've also joined you with the 10 to 1,000 challenge, and I've gone 5 to 1,000, but I've started with 10 to 1,000. So I've put a treble on. I've gone with City again. I'm putting all my eggs in City's basket, so if they don't win, I'm fucked. City to beat Leeds. I've gone with Munich, Bayern Munich to beat Union Berlin, and I've gone with Celtic to beat Livingston. So
I see there by the odds you got on that it's a conservative bet, whereas mine's a bit more risky. So I think we should actually start doing a race of 10 to 1,000.
Oh, interesting. I like what you're throwing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try build up so like we can race, but I definitely want to build it. So I think we have to find a balance between racing and actually doing bets that we think will win. So
makes the competition even tastier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's a good one. Lads, I've gone with another 11-fold here, then £2 on it, 675 to 1. I've gone with Munich. I think this has gone with Broad on this one. So I've gone with Bayern Munich to be Union Berlin again. I've gone with Bournemouth to beat Coventry, Blackpool to beat Lincoln, Portsmouth to beat Bournemouth, Tranmere to beat Scunthorpe, PSG to beat Strasbourg, Galatasaray to beat Karagümrük. I've got my Hartlepool to beat Notts County, Dortmund to beat Stuttgart, I was going to say Saggart, and Porto to beat Tondela, and Benfica to beat Pagos de Ferreira. Lads, I'm
sorry, but you could say all those names and you couldn't say D-Pro Gun a few weeks ago.
That's true. I've gone with a 4-fold draw, lads, as we always do, £2 on it. I've gone with Birmingham and Stoke to draw. I've gone with Cardiff and Blackburn to draw, Doncaster and Wigan, and Southend and Crawley to draw. So that one will return €209. It's 103 to 1. So that's it, lads. Lads, it's been a pleasure. It's been a long podcast. Chris, it's good to have you back. That's where we're going to call it a day. War, it's been a pleasure.
As always. See you next week.
Connor.
Cheers, lads.
Chris.
Good luck.
Paddy.
See you later, man.
Cheers, everyone, for watching, and don't forget, check us out on Instagram, YouTube. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you're watching us now, so make sure you hit the subscribe button on it. We are also on Twitch. We don't use it, so ignore it. So look, we'll be here same time again next week, 8:30 Thursday night. So we'll see everyone then. Cheers for watching, and goodbye.